Yes, boxing fans, it's your boy Big Nige and welcome to another Boxing Weekly Roundup with yours truly. Listen, this weekend we witnessed the greatest heavyweight of our era.
Tyson Fury has the ability, and I think in my expectations, will be the next superstar dominant heavyweight, much along the lines of Lennox Lewis and Vladimir Klitschko. Very talented for a big guy, unbelievable coordination, a lot of showmanship and personality and charisma.
Yep, I openly admit it, Tyson Fury is the best of our generation. And you know what? It's not that I didn't know that, but I feel the way he disposed of Dillian Whyte this weekend just showed that he's in a level of his own. There's no one on his level. I mean, there's Usyk, who I feel like can trouble him, but Tyson Fury is in a league of his own, 100%. 100%. I'm sure you're all aware, Tyson Fury stopped Dillian Whyte in 6 rounds at Wembley Stadium, 94,000 on the biggest stage basically, and he says he was going to put out a masterclass. I don't think it was a masterclass really. It was what Tyson Fury does. He reads the situation, uses the opponent's strength to be their weaknesses, negates, and now he's effectively knocking people out. He knocked out Dillian Whyte with a devastating uppercut. What is there more to say? I mean, he's top dog. I think he beats Usyk, although I do feel Usyk gives him trouble. He beats AJ. He's already beaten Deontay Wilder 3 times, and now Dillian Whyte. I was disappointed in Dillian Whyte, and to be honest with you, anyone that knows me, I was rooting for the underdog.
I was rooting for you. We were all rooting for you. How dare you? Learn something from this.
I thought he could come in and try and disrupt Tyson Fury's vibe. Me personally, I won't say it's a lackluster performance because I think that's a bit too harsh because we're talking about the best of our generation. But in terms of trying to just not even compete, in terms of just trying to affect their game plan, I don't think he put the game plan was correct. Round 1, I don't know if anyone noticed, but he came out Southpaw, which was a bit of a shock. Really, it was like, okay, interesting tactic, but let's see where it goes with this. And me personally, he was very effective with the jab to the body because Tyson Fury, I'm assuming Tyson Fury didn't assume he would come out Southpaw. He threw shots to the body, was not causing trouble, but it was causing disruption in terms of Tyson Fury's vibe. But at the end of the day, round 1 is all about sussing your range and understanding your opponent. Round 2, Tyson Fury came out as a southpaw, which was expected because everyone expected Tyson Fury to follow in the way he beat Derek Chisora, fighting southpaw. He came out southpaw and then Dillian Whyte switched to orthodox, which was weird because I felt that round was probably the only round I gave was the closest. I wouldn't say I gave it to Dillian Whyte, but I thought that was the closest and probably the most effective throughout the 6 rounds, if you get what I'm saying. I felt as the rounds went on, Dillian Whyte started to get frustrated. I expected him to apply more pressure. He took centre of the ring and Tyson Fury was popping the jab in and out. But I expected more pressure. And even when he did throw shots to the body, it was just ones. I expected like a double up or a jab to the body then a hook. Do you know what I mean? A bit more variation. Because just the odd one jab to the body and then trying to pressure isn't effective with someone as elite as Tyson Fury. But then again, it's easier said than done. Tyson Fury's got great footwork and an absolutely beautiful range in terms of distance. Like, he can pop that jab without even needing to be in range because he's significantly the bigger man. I don't know, someone of Dillian Whyte who's all about maximum violence, I expected him to come on vim. But not just reckless, but with calculated game plan. And I feel like we didn't see it. And I think as the rounds went on, you could see he was getting a bit frustrated. And the windmills started coming where he's getting off balance. And I'm like, Dylan.
He's got the fist. He swings it. Boy, he's going to be...
Bro, like, we're only around round 4, and you're starting to swing windmills. I don't think he actually landed a clean right on Tyson throughout the 6 rounds. Then he started roughing him up, which I thought was good because trying to disrupt the vibe again. But I don't think there's no trick that Tyson Fury don't know. He's so well schooled in every aspect of his boxing ability that if you want to play rough, he can play rough. So he started grappling. I think there was a bit of elbows and headbutts. And Tyson Fury gave it just as good as Dylan Whyte was doing it. Round 6 came and he was just tapping him, and then a beautiful, beautiful uppercut, which literally was goodnight Vienna for Dylan Whyte. Initially, when Fury threw the uppercut, I didn't even see it first time because it was that quick. So I had to watch the replay to get a proper insight as to how he threw it and what happened. And I'm not going to lie, there was a part of me that thought, oh, he's pushed him there. Even though he threw the uppercut and it was dirty, he's pushed him. But if you look closely, Whyte was out cold, in my opinion, when the shot was thrown. He was just leaning forward. Fury obviously has pushed him back, which makes it looks a bit more nuts. But in reality, would it have made any difference? Me personally, I don't think so. Whyte has now spoken to Sky Sports earlier this week, and he's basically revealed that he feels like the push was illegal. The referee should have given him more time to recover because it was an illegal push. And he admits that, yes, the uppercut caught him, but he was dazed and not out cold. He feels the push meant that he landed on his head, and that's what knocked him out. And I'm thinking, why? Come on, bro. It's coming across as if it's a little excuse, in my opinion, because even when you did get up, your legs were wobbly. You couldn't even stand still, and that's the reason why the ref called it off. Giving you that extra time, personally, would it have made any difference? I don't think so, because eventually Fury would have done the damage anyway. It's a bit disappointing because it seems like the uppercut is Dylan Whyte's weakness. We saw AJ land it in their fight many years ago in 2015. Oscar Rivas caught him with that same shot, even though Dylan Whyte was up on points and was pretty much not cruising, but was in control of the fight. It was unexpected. His legs crossed and he just got caught. And then we also recently saw Alexander Povetkin knock him out with that same shot, despite the fact that he had already knocked down Povetkin twice before that. So it's a reoccurring thing, and I don't know if it's something that, I wouldn't say it's not something that they haven't trained and worked on. I just feel like it's sloppy, and at this elite level, you can't be doing sloppy things like that. You can't be getting caught with that uppercut, especially if it's something that you're prone to being knocked out before this fight. And someone as highly skilled as Tyson Fury, he was very patient. He literally just popped the jab. He didn't really seem to get out of second gear, to be honest with you. I mean, I looked at the interview, Tyson Fury's face, and I compared it to how he looked when he fought Deontay Wilder. His face didn't look bruised, to be honest with you. Like, it didn't even look like he'd just come out of a 6-round fight. And then I just got to go back to that Tyson Fury Wilder fight. I have to give Wilder the utmost respect, because Tyson Fury is the best of our generation, and Deontay Wilder caused him trouble, despite the fact that a lot of people say, not even a lot, I'm one of them. Deontay Wilder just only has that right hand, but that right hand is very, very dangerous. And in comparison to the Dylan Whyte fight, I felt like whenever Dylan Whyte tried to throw that right, it was almost, Tyson Fury could see it from a mile off. It was slow. It wasn't what I expected. Especially, I've been following his journey ever since the loss to AJ, and you've seen significant progress in his game. And I felt like you've been waiting for this world title shot for so long, and it finally comes. I think it's 1,600 and something days. I can't tell you the exact date, but 1,600 days, and you get your shot, and you're gonna look back and think, did you give it your all? You know what I'm saying? And I was worried. I was always worried that when Whyte gets his chance, will he take it, or will the stage or the occasion overrule him? Listening to Dillian Whyte's interview, he felt like it was a close fight. He felt like he didn't get outclassed. He didn't feel like there was levels above. Got mad respect for you, Dillian Whyte, but yeah, man, there's levels to this game. There's levels to this game, and Tyson Fury showed it. Yeah, Tyson Fury's top dog. He's top dog. You heard it here. And I hope he doesn't retire, because I do feel the undisputed fight needs to be settled once and for all. I hope Joshua beats Usyk. to see this big fight between Joshua and Fury, because that's the fight we all want to see. Do you know what I mean? Let me know your thoughts, boxing fans. Should Tyson Fury retire, or would you like to see him in an undisputed fight against the winner of Usyk and Joshua? It was announced on the Fury Whyte card that Joe Joyce and JoyceParker look set to fight in the summer. I feel that's a very good fight for Joe Joyce and JoyceParker, because I'll be honest, I wrote off JoyceParker with his back-to-back defeats against AJ and Dillian Whyte, but he's managed to rebuild himself, and like, no disrespect, but he was champion. He was champion, and you've got to have something in you to become a champion. So he's been able to rebuild his himself as a boxer and his profile. He's now with Andy Lee, and I feel like I rate Andy Lee very highly. So it'll be interesting to see who comes out victorious. They're both ranked 1 and 2 in the WBO. So I'm assuming, I don't know if it's an eliminator, but I'm assuming whoever wins will be #1 spot for the winner of Usyk and Joshua at some point, whether that be this year or next year. But that's it from me, Big Nige, with all the Boxing Weekly Roundup. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. And thank you for all those who always tune in and show support. Peace.